So this is my first. So this is my first time hands-on with the Fujifilm X half, a half frame camera. Basically, it's a sensor with. It's a vertical sensor inside, so you always shoot vertical. So this is my first. So this is my first hands-on with the X half from Fujifilm. This is a pretty special camera because this is maybe the first camera with the vertical sensor inside of the camera, because most of the sensor looks like this. The sensor is horizontally, but the sensor in X half is vertically. So if you shoot photos like this, your picture will be vertical. This is what's special about the X half, because you always shoot vertical. If you want to shoot horizontal. So this is my first time hands-on with the Fujifilm X half. This is a pretty special camera because the sensor is basically vertical. So you will always shoot your picture vertically like this. You will shoot a vertical picture. If you want to shoot regular horizontally photo, you gotta shoot it like this. So it's kind of cool camera, and it's pretty lightweight. This is my first time hands-on with the Fujifilm X half. This is my first time hands-on with the Fujifilm X half camera. This is a pretty cool camera because this sensor is basically a vertical sensor. So if you shoot a photo in your regular position like this, your photo will be vertical. Pretty cool. If you want a horizontal like regular photo, you gotta shoot it like this. So it's totally opposite. So when will Fujifilm release a square sensor camera? Who knows? But this is vertical, so it's one of its kind. And after playing with this camera, I really fall in love with the. And after using this camera for a while, after using this camera for a while, the lightweight is the key, because this kind of camera, it's heavy, it's hard to take it out, it's not going to sell. But this super lightweight, just 200-ish gram, so basically a smartphone weight. So it's crazy lightweight. And we can control, and most people using smartphone, they want their picture to be processed right after they take a picture. They don't want raw files. They don't want those complex post-processing process. So most people using smartphone, they want their. So most people using smartphone to take photos, So most people using smartphone to take photos, they want their picture to be processed immediately with computer, or they don't want to think. People taking picture with this. Most people taking picture with their smartphone. They don't want those. Most people taking photos with their smartphone, they want their photo to be processed. Most people taking photos with their smartphone, they want their photos to be processed instantly, like shoot and wow, beautiful picture, HDR-ish. that kind of stuff. They don't want to shoot raw and edit and post-processing, all kinds of hassle. They don't want it. They want awesome picture instantly. So this Fujifilm X-Hef is the king because you can choose between different film type, different film profile, then you can capture perfect image, perfect color immediately. Perfect image right after you press the shutter button. So this is why Fujifilm is. So this is why I think this camera is so. So this is why I think this camera is so much fun. You just capture the memory, not. So this is why I think this camera is pretty interesting, because the main focus is to capture the memory, not to capture the photo. And you gotta do all kinds of like develop all kinds of stuff, because they put your memory on top of photography. Because so this is why I think this camera is pretty interesting, because they put the priority a little bit different. Priority. That's why I think this camera is pretty special, because they put the priority a little bit different. They put the capture memory in front of photography. So capture the memory is much more important in Fujifilm camera than photography. So if you want photography, like all those technical stuff, yep, that's photography. So capture memory, yeah, I think capture memory is much more important than photography. Yeah. So this is why lots of people want to shoot Fujifilm and shoot straight out of the camera with JPEG, because capture memory is much more important. And also this camera have a little cool design. We have a lever at the side, but we don't actually have a film inside. So after you take a picture, if you don't use the lever, the photo will not be saved. So remember to use the lever. This is a cool design. I don't know, can we turn it off? Because if you capture it and you like it, but another cool part of this camera is the lever, the physical lever. Actually, it's not doing any mechanical stuff because no film's inside. It's all digital, but the lever, after you capture a photo, if you forgot to use the lever, the photo will not be saved. So just be careful. If you capture awesome photos, remember to use the lever. I don't know, can we turn off this function? Because if you capture a perfect moment and you forgot to use the lever, the photo will disappear. Okay, so yep, remember to use the lever. Just like a film camera. Just like a film camera. And also we have the full manual aperture control. And also we have the manual aperture control. So and also we have the full aperture control. So pretty cool. You can do all kinds of creative stuff with this camera, no problem. There is no any fixed aperture, just like your smartphone. So it's kind of like your smartphone, but it's more advanced and more fun to play.